What's up, gamers? I'm your host, Cobra, and this is the Freeroll. Today, we're looking at the Legends of Venari event schedule. So back at the very beginning of the year, a project called the Legends of Venari had all of my attention as they launched their Season 0, which was kind of an alpha season for pass holders. I bought a pass after I heard about the game and started collecting Venari right away. It was a lot of fun, and we grinded pretty hard early on before we eventually lost interest a little bit because there was no updates for quite a while. It took the team longer than expected to roll out their beta season, but they launched that a couple of months ago, and the project has really been picking up steam ever since. September, I would say, was potentially their most successful month as a project altogether since the very beginning, at least since I have been following the project, and that is great to see. But when we look at the event schedule, it's clear that things are just starting to heat up, which is awesome. Now, if you're used to more of the gaming as a service model that we see in pretty much every mobile game and quite a few console games nowadays as well, then you know delivering regular updates and new content is a really important factor for keeping your player base engaged. And in the Web3 space, that's even more important because all of these games have a lot more value to their actual ownership if players are playing the game for a long, extended period of years and not just weeks or months. So it's excellent to see this type of development from the team. The game is really starting to mature, and in terms of gameplay hours, is still probably number one for me out of any Web3 game that we're playing today, simply because their gameplay actually takes some time, and every time there's an update, there's more to do, which is very cool. We are not seeing many projects at all putting out content at this pace, but this is the pace that is required for the video game space, and so this is something for every other project to aspire to. But let's dive right in, because going on right now is the double XP and gold event. This is running after the conclusion of their first partner event, which was with the BYO Pills. That was a really fun event, and we'll talk about why in a moment, but we spent pretty much all of our gold going through that event and catching as many of the event exclusive Venari as possible. So this is a real opportunity to refill the coffers, if you will. The double XP is also really huge unless you've been grinding away from the beginning, which quite honestly we're playing pretty much every day, but we're definitely not maxing out our energy use at the moment every single day. So there's quite a bit of catching up for me to do from an XP perspective. I am trying to leverage this event as much as possible, both so that I can get a lot of gold for these upcoming events, but also to progress further, as there are still several stages that I have not unlocked, including the newest world, which I'm getting very close to. Now, if you're interested in the Legends of Venari project, and especially if you are actively playing it today, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. I am part of their ambassador team, and will be providing regular coverage on the project moving forward. So that subscribe button ensures that you don't miss anything. So the team recently shared this event calendar with us, and there's quite a lot to look forward to. In October, we're going to get the Venari Quest, as well as another partner exclusive event. That is going to be similar to the BYO Pills event that just wrapped up, and that's an exciting time to get into the game because you have a better opportunity to catch some tier 2 Venari, at least of the event Venari itself. And it's always really cool to get event exclusive Venari, because those are going to be limited in the future since you won't have an opportunity to catch them again. The Nairi quest is going to be very interesting as well. We don't really know what that one will look like, but safe to assume that it is going to revolve around the Venari Nairi. We will likely get some additional lore about that particular Venari, and we will definitely get activities revolving around either catching or powering up Nairi, potentially both. Either way, it's likely that we're going to be able to earn some cool prizes as well as catch some more rare Nairi. Then November kicks off with their Halloween event, and that's interesting because Halloween is in October, so I think it's probably likely that the event will kick off on Halloween, or at least I would expect that to be their goal, but then primarily run in November because typically their events last 2 weeks. Either way, a Halloween event is really, really exciting. I love when games do events around actual IRL holidays. That's always really fun, and Halloween has always been one of my favorite holidays. If they go the approach of Pokemon, then it is quite likely that we are going to get the opportunity to catch Venari that are in costumes, or potentially have some sort of special Halloween skin. Hopefully those are things that look really, really cool, and they serve a little bit like a event exclusive Venari, but either way, that one I am quite looking forward to because it's such a fun and exciting holiday. Then November also includes a special event. That one is incredibly vague, so we really have no idea what that could be like, but the fact that they're holding that one back tells me that they're confident it's going to be one of the more exciting ones. I will add some potential possibilities for the special event. Could be around a large feature update, because we're currently in beta season, but they have yet to release all of the functionality and features that they intend to during the beta season. There's one really, really big one called the grid, which is going to dramatically change the game and make it a lot deeper and, in my opinion, more fun. Potentially that November special event is aimed around launching that feature and potentially giving us some extra quests or bounties that take advantage of the new gameplay features. Then December starts off with another partnered exclusive event. I want to see as many of those as possible because, in my opinion, this is a very creative way to engage with other Web3 communities and a really smart approach to growing the user base. So love to see that there is a second one of those on the calendar as well. And then probably the biggest event that they have ever held is going to be the 1-year anniversary. Now, I haven't talked to anybody about that. I am making an assumption here, but my experience playing video games tells me that this one's going to be big time. In the mobile gaming world especially, a 1-year anniversary is a huge milestone and one worth celebrating. This is a spot where you should expect to get a lot better prizes and more in-depth additions to the game. There's all sorts of possibilities that could roll out for this type of event, but either way, you should expect big things for this one, and hopefully we will learn a little bit more as we get closer to December. Now, the roadmap graphic that we are looking at and using in today's video was actually provided by the Twitter account Carreras Express. They are a must follow for all Legends of Venari players, and I have conveniently linked their Twitter account below so that you can go ahead and give them a follow. Then finally in January, they are planning a winter event. That makes sense. It'll be dead of winter in the northern hemisphere at least. And so that will likely be a little bit more similar to the Halloween event. It's not attached to a specific holiday, but it makes a lot of sense that we'll potentially see some winter-themed Venari to catch and potentially have some winter-based quests to go along with it. Now, if you're not super familiar with the Legends of Venari or playing the game yet today, but interested, here is some of the gameplay. Essentially, it is setting baits in various different sections to attract Venari. Then, depending on the Venari that are attracted to the bait, you can choose one to try and capture or tame. Now, doing so requires playing a small mini game, and over time you will learn the correct answers to each Venari's particular minigame. The higher tiered Venari do have their answers reset after so many catches, so you can't just keep piling them up, and that the challenge stays somewhat fresh. But at the end of the day, right now we are collecting Venari. There are resources that you can get from collecting Venari as well. We're not really using those just yet, but that's likely going to be very helpful in the future, so I just keep stacking them up as much as possible. If you're interested in playing the game, there's a couple of different routes. You can purchase a pass of your own, and that will give you access to play the game. If you'd like to try it without purchasing anything, send me a message on Twitter. I have a handful of extra passes, and the game includes a lending feature, so I can lend one out to you on a split. I promise to give you a very friendly one because I just want to see more people playing the game, but that gives you a free opportunity to check it out, and may lead to you wanting to purchase a pass of your own down the line. And that wraps up today's free roll on the Legends of Venari event schedule. I hope you found this informative and entertaining, and if you did, consider giving us a follow on Twitter. That's where I love to interact with the Web3 gaming community and answer all your questions. It's also the best way to get your hands on lending out one of my passes for Legends of Venari. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below. It really helps to support the channel.